Hi, folks. I'm Joe Minjares, whichever way you want to pronounce the name. I'm the owner of the Parkway Theater. We're here in the Parkway Theater, doing a little work today, moving around these nice couches and getting everything scrubbed down real nice. We're getting ready for a big concert coming up on the 27th of November with my good friend here, Mr. Paul Metsa, and I think you're really going to enjoy this event. Paul, how you doing?
Good to see you, Joe. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. You and I go way back, Paul.
We do. In fact, I think I met you right around the time, first time I came in here, Tom Arnold and I were on an all-night strategy session, and I think Tom took over the PA system in the restaurant.
Right.
And you were very nice, and you said maybe you guys might come back at another time. And then I came back, and I met you down here, but back, used to do a lot of stand-up at the Comedy Gallery.
Back in the day.
Back in the day. And Tom and I were good buddies, so I got to know all the comedians, and so I think we go back almost 25 years.
Yeah, I think actually the first time that I met you was at the Comedy Gallery.
Yeah.
Upstairs from old J.R.
Oh, absolutely. 11th and LaSalle.
Right. You came in and you started hanging out there with the comics. What did you see in the comics?
Well, I did a benefit with Tom Arnold over at the Union Center over in St. Paul. Tom and I got to be really good buddies. Mm-hmm. And I still think he's one of the best stand-up comedians there is. And so Tom and I started hanging out, and I'd go to a lot of his gigs. He didn't have the only thing Tom had at the time was a suit coat, a mattress, and a little bag of goldfish. So when I wasn't working, I'd give him a ride to gigs, so he didn't have to take the bus. And so I got to, enter this whole world of comedy. And the mid-'80s, it was rocking in this town.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. At that time, in fact, as far as stand-up comedy, there was about 1,500 seats available throughout the Twin Cities for stand-up. And I think per capita, it was the largest stand-up market in the country.
Yeah, and looking back, who was playing? I mean, Arnold, of course, Jeff Cesario, who just played here this weekend.
Joel Hodgson. Joel Madison.
Yeah.
Louis Anderson had just left.
Wild Bill
Bauer, Liz Winstead. I mean, it was just star-studded. And a lot of these guys went on to become big producers out in Hollywood and make movies and everything else. But you know what? We could go on and on about stand-up, and everyone's got their favorite Tom Arnold story. I certainly have mine. And
we'll share it that night.
We will share it that night. But we're here talking to Paul. Paul, doggone it. See, I put the farmer cap on. I talk like a farmer now. But we're talking 3 decades, man. 3 decades of your music here in the Twin Cities. That's remarkable.
Well, it's I didn't realize it was actually 3 decades, because it's thousands and thousands of gigs ago. But when I was going through,
that sounds better than 30 years.
But I started going through some of my archives this winter, and I realized the show is called Skyway to Hell, and it's online at skywaytohell.com. And I remember that my very first gig in town was 1979. I played at the Skyway Lounge in downtown Minneapolis, opening up for the strippers. And there was a great guy named Reggie Callahan that booked the place. And I like to say Reggie was the guy, and it's the truth. He was the guy that booked the Rolling Stones into Minneapolis in the early 60s. And he booked the Beatles into Minneapolis in 65, and then booked Metsa in 1979. Mm-hmm. So it's going to start there, and it's going to be kind of a retrospective of my career and stories about the people I've met, the places I played, and the songs that kind of came out of that. And along with that, I'm going to have some great guest artists, some of my favorite musicians, not only in this town, but I think they're as good as anybody in the world, and that would be people like Sherwin Linton and Willie Murphy and Curtis A. My old band, Cats Under the Stars from the Iron Range, my new buddy, Sonny Earl, my friend, Mary Cutrufello, who's living here now, who I met in Texas. They're going to get up and join me. There's a few other surprise guests. And so it's going to be kind of an evening of us about, my 30 years here in town, told in stories and song.
Okay, and so the tickets are going to go for?
The tickets, it's $12 in advance, and if $15 at the door, but if you bring a food shelf item, You'll get $3 off at the door, and then there's VIP seats.
Yeah, we're gonna set up some special seating out here right in front of the stage, so they can. He's gonna do some lap dances too. Anyway, we're gonna give you special service here. Those tickets are $25, but it's a nice way to be able to get right up close and personal with certainly a music legend here in the Midwest, and we're really excited to have him here. This is like a big deal for me, you know.
Oh, well.
I mean, when you first played here, we had the little restaurant next door.
The Loco Lounge.
The Poco Loco Lounge, and it was real small. And then here 3 years ago, we bought this place and started working on it. And this is the kind of thing that I really wanted to see here.
Well, it's going to be great. And kind of the story, Joe, is how it took me 30 years to go from 7th and Hennepin to 48th in Chicago.
I like that. That'll work.
But it was also 25 years ago this month that I released my very first LP, Paper Tigers, that I'm re-releasing on CD. So it's going to be a CD release party for that. And then along with that, my partner, Sonny Earl, my harmonica player who I play with, once a week, we've been playing together once a week for 12 years. He and I have a new record coming out. It's going to be an EP CD with 2 great videos that we're going to have some clips up soon. One for my song No Money Down, and one for a song I wrote called Whiskey or the Rain. So it's going to be kind of 2 CD releases, a party with the DVD, and we just want to have everybody come down and enjoy themselves. We can give a portion of the CDs away to the food shelf. And 2, Joe, we're going to have the buckets for the food here, so if they want to stop by
Sure.
on November 25th, even if you don't want to come to the show or can't make the show, come by and drop some food items off, and we'll get them to the food show.
So we're going to be doing a lot of what do you call nonprofit stuff that whole week here at Pepito's Theater. We're going to be feeding people on Thanksgiving Day, and if it's anything like last year, which I think it's probably even going to be more. Last year we served 2,000 people.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the reasons why this has been so fun to put together, because I think we both kind of, in our own way, try to help the community, and so this show hopefully will do a little bit of that as well. But Joe, I can't wait. We're gonna set up the bar right over there.
We're gonna set the bar up here. I'm gonna bartend. We're gonna have a little special area for all your artists and their families.
Cool.
And we'll have a little area over here, and then of course we've got the VIP, and we've got about 400 seats in here, so it's gonna be a pretty big night.
Yeah, and well, we're really looking forward to it, Joe. I want to thank you for inviting me to do it, and I've been such a big fan of you and your family here at the restaurant, and also your work on the Roseanne Show and the Truman Show, and your old stand-up routine. Maybe it's time to dust that thing off as well.
I don't know, man. I don't know. We're going to send this video out to all the people on our Parkway mailing list, and we're going to put it on the website, and people will be able to watch this. So we're asking you, come on out on November the 27th. The show is called Skyway to Hell, and it stars this man, Mr. Paul Metsa, the legend, the man, what else?
It's
soon to be what?
Soon to be 54.
There you go.
Sunday, I know. But I'm celebrating tonight because not many people would believe that I was born on All Saints Day.
Oh my God, I wouldn't believe it.
Thanks, Joe.
Okay, Paul,
we'll see you on the 27th.
All right, man.
All right, peace.
Thanks.